Men are chilling at home and leaving women alone. Men are chilling at home and leaving women alone. Guys, this is insane. So more men are choosing to walk away from society. They're staying home. They're playing video games. They're eating well, sleeping well, pooping well, and not putting up with any nonsense. Today's video actually comes from the Heads of Estate and Renovation channel. Their channel will be linked in the description so you can check them out and give them some support. And we're going to be looking at how things are changing around us and what the future of home looks like for men and how this is going to change society going forward, the relationship between men, women, and society. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
It's written in Chinese. There's Chinese writing on it as well. Let's see. On the door. So what happens if you don't understand Chinese?
Just to give you some context, we're going to be looking at a house that comes from China. It's basically a shipping container that are being converted into houses, and more men are beginning to downsize. Instead of focusing on getting houses for a family, they're beginning to purchase houses like these, and some women are also doing this. So this is a massive thing.
Home straight from China. Guys, welcome to the show. This is Tammy's Tiny Homes. These have been imported directly from China, and it might look small, but in actual fact it's going to end up looking like that. Tammy, why don't you show us what it looks like?
Come this way.
Woo, let's go check it out. Alright, so we're heading now over to the fully finished tiny Tammy home, like that. And it's almost finished, but what you'll notice is that it still needs some electricity and some plumbing done, which is going to be done from the professionals. But what have we got here? Why is it on stilts, Tammy? What
It needs to be level. We need to make it level.
And is it safe to?
Absolutely it is.
So you can walk inside it?
Yes.
All right.
We have 12 piers.
12 piers. And you put concrete down, I guess?
No, road base.
Road base. And you put some better block, road base. And is there something sticking it? Like is something sticking it to the floor?
Yes.
There you go. Some more.
And then I fill it up with rocks.
So it's like solid as a rock, really. Okay, cool. All right, so we're looking at it. Where is the entrance? Show us. It's even got a key. It's even got a key.
There's a key. Say gaze, Daddy.
Love it. So this is the main entrance, which is actually like a French door.
You can have back in a sec.
And the great thing about it is it's got complete privacy because it's reflective. So you can see out, but you can't see in, except for at night time. So you might want to be careful.
No, never mind.
Oh my gosh, you've got TV here. Did that come with it?
No, I bought that.
It's a nice TV. Alright, so you can see it's got laminate flooring. So did you put this laminate flooring down?
No. It's already in it. It all comes. It folds here. So there's one of the folds. The roof folds up.
Whoa.
The floor folds down and walls fold out.
And this was all pre-assembled?
No.
So how do you know what to do? Did it come with instructions or?
No.
Like, was the kitchen assembled?
The kitchen was not like that, no. I had to build that like
You
that.
built the kitchen?
Yes.
So how did the kitchen came? It came like in a small flat panel?
In the middle
Like this?
bit. No, it was built, but it's in two pieces. So two
Okay.
pieces and it sits in the centre.
And is that a bench top?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. Got a obligatory jar of lollies here.
Mm.
Right. Did I come with it as well? This is pretty good. So these all came with the...
Yep.
It's not a bad build.
But it does feel the floor. It probably needs a few more.
Blocks.
Oh, you're shaking it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So what's that? That's the electricity. Oh, that's the main switchboard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's got a roof and it's got electricity.
I had to get the electricians in
Yeah.
to put earth wires to the lights. So that's why
Oh, the
the
conduit.
conduit's there. So that's all new.
Got it. I see. So it's a nice cozy space. It's got like a room for a lounge, got a TV, got a nice kitchen here. It's pretty nice actually. And then let's go through and look at the bathroom. So you got to step up into the, that's a nice bathroom. That's pretty cool. So you got like a shower and you got a toilet and a sink. Come take a look. That's pretty cool. And so you've got a cabinet too. Waiting on the plumber.
I like the shower.
It's so cool.
And
And
what's
then
this?
you've got a bedroom. So it's
Get a bedroom as well.
Oh my god, that is so awesome. So you could probably put like a double bedroom in here, a double bed I guess. And you got windows.
They'll have to see the queen bed. And it folds here.
You can put it, what?
It folds here.
Oh, right.
So you just expanded out. That's how you built it.
Yeah. So was it heavy? It was heavy.
Absolutely.
How did you do it? We just like, how did you do this?
With a car.
With a car.
Can you invite us over when you're going to do the next one?
Definitely.
I'll help
For
out.
sure, yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
And he came with these door locks.
Yeah.
This is a sturdy door.
I just can't.
The wardrobe as well.
So, guys, this is kind of an example of what's going on. So, these properties, these tiny houses, many of them are as cheap as around 50,000 United States dollars. They are they're very much more affordable. Some go up to $100,000, but for the ones that go up to 100,000, you're usually getting something really big, like almost like a really huge house. And there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, this is bull crap. You need to spend your money on a good house." Blah blah blah. Guys, men are done. Men are done buying the garbage of the boomers. All right, guys. I've said it plenty of times. My father he bought his house, a single family home, for $140,000 less than 30 years ago, and 140,000 for less than 30 years ago. That is a $1 million house right now. That is a total bunch of BS. You know, there was a guy I was watching. I showed you guys a video of this guy who bought a house for $20,000. I believe it was back in like 1969, and today the house is now worth $3 million in New York, in Brooklyn, not Manhattan, in Brooklyn. In places like Manhattan, that type of property would be like $30 million, $40 billion. No one is going to spend this type of money for these properties anymore. What you're going to begin witnessing is that millennials, Gen Xers that want properties, they're going to start buying these tiny houses. They're going to start buying these units, getting a piece of land, putting the property on it, and saying, "I now have a piece of land. I now have a property," and that's it. And the boomers are going to be disrespectful. They're going to talk a lot of crap. At first, they were like, "Oh, these tiny houses are perfect for the millennials," but guess what? As a result of what these people have done, they're going to notice that their property value is going to start to plummet, absolutely plummet. These people have no empathy, no sympathy, no humanity for people younger than them. I'm in my 40s now. And they could care less about our futures, guys. They're literally saying that Gen Z is going to need to pay for their Social Security and retirement, so they're going to have to raise taxes and have Gen Z pay for it. This is, guys, the level of evil to say something like that is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And then if you ever mention it, they come after you and tell you to shut up. Guys, this is the reason why so many women have this very extraordinarily entitled attitude, because they were raised by the boomers and they think that it's a man's job to serve them and give them everything. But this is over. It's over. Men are walking away and waking up. That's why you now have men chilling at home. That's why men are leaving alone. They're leaving women alone. They're building at-home gyms. You know, you just need a couple of weights. You don't need a lot. You know, guys are staying home, playing video games, eating well, sleeping well, pooping well, and that's it. They don't care anymore. Men are sick of the nonsense, sick of the games. If they want physical intimacy, they'll go overseas. All right? I told you're going to have scenarios where you're going to have a lot of guys who will have a house in the Philippines. They'll have a place in the Philippines. And when they want to go chill, you know, right now the Philippines, it's like 2 months. So you can be over there for 2 months and you got to go and renew your visa. What a guy will do is he'll have a house. He'll have a place that he rents over in the Philippines. And he'll go to the Philippines for 2 months, you know, and then come back to the U.S. when he's ready. If he doesn't get a visa extension, and that's it. Or a place in Mexico, or a place in Thailand, or any number of these other countries. A lot of Western countries, even Germany right now, is significantly cheaper than the United States, than Australia, than the United Kingdom. These countries are so expensive to live in. It's becoming impossible. The average house right now in the U.S. they're saying $420,000, but it's really closer to $450,000. That's the price of the average house right now. If a person, and the average salary in the U.S. is around $50,000. So for the average, it would take the average person decades to pay that property off. Even with increases in wages and so forth, it would take them decades. Think about this. Making $50,000 a year, even with increases in wages over the following 10 years, they still would not have enough money to pay that property off after 10 years. 400,000. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. It's out of no one is, guys, we're becoming a society of renters, but all of these properties, they're eventually going to run stagnant because the banks, what are the banks going to do? Turn these into properties? They're going to become rental companies? The banks need to sell these properties, but they're overinflated. The price of these properties are way too high. They've lost touch with reality because the boomers kept on sucking the equity out of the property, and as a result of that, they kept on causing the value of them to go up and up and up. They're not. It's not that they're that valuable. It's just that they've been forcing people to pay more and more and more for these things for decades, convincing them that it's normal, raising rents to astronomical prices, where most of your salary now goes to rent and food. Basically, you are now working just to live. All right, or it's crazy. It's crazy. Or rather, you're just living to work, where your entire purpose is just to work. And all the while, the boomers are, basically refinancing and going on constant cruises and trips and having a good time, partying and living their lives. And they think they're going to keep on. They've already saddled the millennials with as much debt as they can, and now they're trying to do it to Gen Z, which is a joke, because Gen Zers are not even getting hired anymore. Half of all Gen Zers, 40% of Gen Zers were not even being hired by companies. Companies were avoiding 40% of Gen Zers, back in 2022. 40% of companies were avoiding Gen Zers back in 2022, weren't hiring them. And we're in 2024 now, so it's probably closer to 50 or 60% at this point. And Gen Z is basically done with the whole 9 to 5. So they're basically, doing DoorDash and pestering society for money, or trying to hustle off on these OnlyFools and Lonely Fans. And many of them are finding out it's just not that easy, and they're destroying their names. I mean, this is the reality that the boomers have created for everyone. But these tiny houses, they're going to continue to skyrocket, because they're no longer, we call them tiny houses, but the reality is that they are modular houses, so that you're able to get them, stack them together, assemble them, and create structures that are much cheaper and but a lot more affordable. And the boomers are going to go say crap like, "Oh, that's like a mobile home. When the wind blows, it'll wash it away." Guys, the boomers, forget them. Forget these people. They shouldn't be giving anyone advice. These are the same people who kicked us out. When some of us were like 16 years old. All right. There's so many Gen Xers that have stories where they left home at 13. These people, these boomers, y'all, these boomers.
They had to buy them.
Looks nice. This is gorgeous.
So nice.
You've done such a good job, Tammy. Such a good job.
Awesome.
Like, normally I go into show homes, the big, massive, super expensive ones, but this is gorgeous, and it's so cheap. So
Hard work.
hard work. So you're gonna be selling these tiny homes online soon.
I'd like to, yeah.
There you go. If you're interested in getting a tiny home just like this beauty, get in touch with Temusa. Leave a comment in the comment section below.
So awesome. Love it. Love this. It's so
Bit
good.
hot in here.
So, but you
Get air conditioning.
And guys, that's actually a good point. So, for example, what she's doing is she's getting these tiny homes. She's getting the land, from what I can see, and then she basically puts the tiny home on the land, and and that's it. So she can rent them, or she can sell the tiny home. They're not really tiny homes in that sense. She sells the home with a piece of land. That's a big business right there, y'all. That's a huge business with these houses, with these tiny homes, guys. You're gonna see people doing this like crazy. Spending, buying a piece of land and building these communities with these homes. Just building these communities like, okay, I'm gonna buy a piece of land, like a couple of acres of land, and I'm just going to start buying, and I'm gonna buy out these homes. I could start with 5 or whatever, and I'm gonna sell the home on the land. And that with that land, and a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, and the home will come fully set up, fully equipped. You own the property. If you want to take the house with you, you could deassemble it and take it with you, but it comes fully set up. The electricity is set up, it's ready to go, and you're ready to move in. And for example, you get the house, you purchase the house from China. Let's say it costs $50,000. You put, the cost to set it up, and do the wiring and electricity, maybe $2,000 or $3,000, probably not even that much. And once you have everything set up, maybe you're at $55,000, right? And now you can turn around and sell that house for maybe $75,000. Think about it logically. 75 or even more, 75 or even $80,000 to someone, and just say, hey, listen, you're going to get the house, you're going to get the house, you're going to get the land, everything is set up, you have your septic tank, whatever. You can even offer values where, for example, this property also comes with and I talked about this a little before, this property also comes with solar electricity for people, it has a solar setup or a setup for solar electricity, and you create more value. And a lot of people will run to that because there's a lot of homesteading going on where people want to decentralize, they want to live off the grid. And if you can do this, if you can provide that value, you can then turn around and make $30,000 right away. Just set these things up, buy a piece of land, set these things up, and when you do the math, there's the property, the land, and everything. Yeah, that's even that's $100,000. That's $100,000. You buy a giant piece of land, that's a couple of acres, and you basically just build these communities and say, okay, well, this land is yours right here. Okay, so this spot of land is going to be yours, or you could just rent them. You can just rent them out, however you choose to do it. Because depending on the area, because life is expensive right now. So in some places you can rent these things out for $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, and they'll pay for themselves within a short period of time. But if you want to sell it, yeah, you can just sell it. You build these communities and sell them, and sell it very quickly. And that's it. And people will happily buy them. They'll move in. A lot of millennials will move in, and now they'll actually have a property for themselves. So that's something, and a lot of men are going to be doing this. The money that they're going to be saving, not having families and downsizing, this is going to allow them to move into these properties and live comfortable lives, because men don't need much to survive. And of course, women are going to be pissed off. Like, women are going to say, oh, look at these bums. Look at these bums. They're going to be calling us bums while they're living in shelters, living on the street, living in the woods, and they're going to be out there calling us bums. How can men live like this? It's like Felicia, you live in a church. You sleep in a church with the other homeless people. All right. The shelters are overstocked. All right. You're sleeping in a church, and you're running your mouth to me. Okay. I own this house. I own this land. I have a grill out back. I cook. I have everything that I want, everything that I need. All right. I have a 65-inch television in here. I have a PlayStation 5, a gaming PC. What are you talking about, Felicia? I'm living my best life. I own my car. I have no debt. I have no student loan debt. I'm debt free. I have over $100,000 between savings and investments. What are you talking about, Felicia? Well, you're not a millionaire. You're a broke boy. You're a broke boy. Broke boy. I have plenty of money. I have more money than I need, that I know what to do with, and I'm very, very comfortable. I have zero bills. I've got a solar electricity set up for my property, so I'm not spending anything in electricity right now. I dug a well, so I've got water. I've got a water and a water filtration irrigation system. What are you talking about, Felicia? Got the septic tank set up. I'm living my best life out here. You're the one that's struggling right now. You're the one with over $100,000 in student loan debt and $200,000 in personal debt. Okay. You really need to file for bankruptcy. You really could file for bankruptcy, but they changed the law, so it's not as easy as it used to be. Guys, that's something that someone said. They said that they're going to change the bankruptcy laws very soon. Like, when everything goes to hell, they're going to change the bankruptcy. They're going to change the bankruptcy laws to prevent making it so easy to file for, to prevent making it so easy to discharge all of that debt. Because right now you can't discharge student loan debt, and they're going to change those laws. They're going to change those laws, and it's going to become much harder to file for to get rid of credit card debt and bank loans because guys, that's what everyone's going to do. That's what everyone is going to be doing. They're going to be filing for bankruptcy, because people are living off credit card debt right now, and they're all going to file for bankruptcy to try and discharge the credit card debt and they're going to change the laws to make it more difficult for you to discharge the credit card debt and personal debt for homes and so forth. The boomers, for example, don't give a damn because the way they see it is like they don't have a long time, you don't have a lot of time left. And in some states, legally, you can't take away a person's primary home. I think Florida is one of those places. So if they file for bankruptcy, I'm not sure, but I think it's like that. Like they can file for bankruptcy and may still be able to keep their home, something like that. It's a crazy reality. And a lot of these people are going to be doing that. We're also going to see we're going to become very much a squatter society. You know, a lot of people who are very honest people and did everything right, they're basically no longer going to be able to afford rent, or, you know, they're going to lose their jobs, and they're going to basically, a lot of people are just going to start squatting. You know, they're going to start squatting and start living in these properties. And they're going to say, well, listen, you tell the landlord that you need to go to the court and have the court evict me. Have the court evict me, and that's it. And they're going to live in these properties for long periods of time, and there honestly won't be very much that the landlords will be able to do. I do realize that the landlords will do things like try to shut off the water and so forth to make life much more difficult for these people. But a lot of people will continue living in these properties regardless. It's going to get real nasty real soon. It's going to be a horrible. America and Western societies, Australia is going to be terrible. I hear idiots over saying that, oh, the rents in Australia really aren't that bad. Are you in Australia? They're not that bad. Like, it's like the equivalent of like $3,000 to $5,000 a month. A lot of these people are paying for rent. It's crazy rents in Australia. Guys, these people are evil. A lot of these people are so evil. These people are on copium. No matter how much bad and evil happens in this world, there are people who will try to dismiss it. The most evil things that are done, you have a lot of people, a lot of simps on my channel, they'll jump in there on their copium and they will try to immediately dismiss all of these evil things. But yeah, guys, the ultimate future is that you're going to have a lot of men are going to be chilling, living in these properties, living in tiny homes, playing video games, eating food, relaxing, you know, not getting married, not having children, walking away, being men walking away. Men with alternatives are going their own way, choosing to separate themselves from society and relationships and living their best lives. And a lot of women are going to find themselves struggling because men are leaving and they're not coming back. What do you guys think regarding all of this, guys? You know, it's a crazy reality. And guys, again, if you're enjoying the content, you know, subscribe to the Angry Guy Clubhouse and Substacks. You can dive into our podcast, Gen X Stories, and more. And you'll also get our free digital nomad blueprint. The link is in the description. Let me know what you guys think regarding all of this. You know, men chilling at home, leaving women alone. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.